See how I'm just covering the shot? If he doesn't shoot, then I have a free ball. I can literally let this ball roll. You don't have to do shit. But can poke your nose if you want. Wait. Fake it towards the left, he didn't go. We fake it towards the right, he went. And then get a hit to the right, get a hit to the ref. Single jump, and get a free goal, right? You can do this, it's not that hard.
It's ready for later, so if they try and keep extended pressure, they'll have low boost.
I mean, like, I'm
doing
doing nothing, and we're actually getting out of defense. Like, I'm literally just double jumping. I'm letting them hit the ball to me, and I'm just double jumping after. And look how calm
this is so funny to watch.
It's ridiculous. And then I can rotate. But
right,
shall I just wait and see how long it takes?
Yeah, I'll wait.
Let's wait and see how long it takes for them to actually get the. Like, look at this. Look at this is Chab, like Grand Chab.
This is Grand Chab.
Like, this is honestly ridiculous.
That's so
like,
funny. They're not paying attention.
I mean, they're just giving up at this point.
The thing is, they're not paying attention to us. That's the thing. They're literally just like doing what they want to do. Oh man, this is so funny.
We'll wait back. Like, I want to go for this ball, but there's so many bodies here. Like if you're mechanical, you can just go. But no, I don't want to be the one overcommitting. So just play it slow in the corner. Let them be the ones overcommit. We get a goal. If you don't have the mechanics, that's kind of how you play corners. Like, once you get mechanical, you can kind of like play around them. But if you don't have mechanics, you just slow play corners almost always. You kind of just want to slow play them. Be safe. He'll boom it over. I can go for this ball, but it kind of looks like he's following it up. So just put it high. Let him miss. Like, you don't need mechanics.
Are you an idiot? If you're an average Rocket League player and you've seen any of this style of content before, tried to apply it, and found yourself stuck in the same rank, you probably feel like one. Creators from all over the internet are convinced that ranking up in Rocket League is incredibly simple, and they're willing to prove it by creating videos of themselves slashing lower ranked players with ease, on their way through Champ and even Grand Champ without using any advanced mechanics. Surely, they claim that anyone can do this, and you're wasting your time working on those silly mechanics you're trying to learn because great positioning will solve all of your lower ranked problems. But is it true? And if it is, why can't you rank up as easily as they do when you try to focus solely on positioning? I'm going to help explain why I believe mechanics are incredibly important to improving, along with what you can do to help yourself rank up at the end of this video. But first, I'd like to take a moment to explain why I think this style of content is actually way more toxic than the creators lead it on to be. For starters, I do think there's some substance to the information provided in the videos. You can certainly learn more about positioning and maybe catch some bad habits in your own game from watching and listening to how these players navigate certain situations. I also want to say that I don't think anyone's intentions are bad. I do genuinely think the purpose of the videos are to be educational and to truly help people understand the positional mistakes and sort of jump into the mind of a higher ranked player, learning what they would do in certain situations that you might realistically see yourself in. For that, I think this style of content is excellent and provides some real value. The problem I have with it is that none of it is realistic for a normal player, and they act like anybody can do it, but they completely overlook the thousands of hours they have in the game, plus hundreds of games they've played at higher ranks to prepare them for the ease and simplicity of the challenge. If you've ever seen mascots play against the Pee Wee team at the halftime show of a sporting event, this is kind of the visual I have when these players go through these different scenarios. Obviously, you are superior to the opponent. You can read the ball better on the bounces or off the wall. You have superior accuracy and shot placement. Your car control and your ball control is not even comparable to the rest of the field. And it's just stupid to think these players can even pretend to simulate what it's like to play at a lower rank. I've seen players rank up using a piano keyboard, a Guitar Hero controller, playing with their feet, any challenge you can possibly imagine just to prove that all you need is good positioning to rank up in Rocket League. We get it. You're better than we are. What was supposed to be educational content has turned into an awkward flex of superiority against the average player. Look, if you want to teach me something, just teach me. You don't have to tie an arm behind your back to prove how simple it is for you to do it. That's not actually helpful to the average player trying to rank up. So do you need mechanics to rank up in Rocket League? I think based on this introduction, you can get an idea of where I stand, but I'll give you an analogy to help it sink in a little bit further. Let's say you entered a cooking contest and it was you versus Gordon Ramsay. Both of you were given the same ingredients available to make the most delicious dish possible. You were allowed to use any cooking utensil you wanted, but but he was only allowed to use a spatula and a frying pan. Who would cook a better meal? You could probably test this 1,000 times, and Gordon Ramsay would beat you every time. Is that substantial proof that you don't need cooking utensils to make a good meal? This would be completely ridiculous to think, but yet we believe it when we say mechanics aren't necessary to achieve your peak rank. Sure, you could cook a great meal without them, but why? And sure, an elite level chef with years of experience can also prepare a better meal than you can without using them. But that's not you, that's them. So what mechanics do you need? I think the answer to that depends entirely on what your strengths and weaknesses are now. Let's break the game down in its absolute simplest form. Your objective is to put the ball in the other team's net and prevent the ball from going in your own net. If you have no reliable way to outplay your opponents, then that means you are relying entirely on their mistakes in order to win the game. If they don't make any mistakes and you don't have any significant outplays, you will lose. This is typically what happens to lower ranked players who try to focus too much on positioning and don't focus on their own mechanics. They think that if they just focus on playing like the content creators and only work on positioning, they'll be able to easily rank up. But as we discussed earlier, you don't have even close to the ball control, car control, field awareness, reads on the ball that these players have. So you think you might be playing similarly to them, but it's actually just a slow and predictable version of yourself, which works great against opponents who make a lot of mistakes, but it doesn't serve you well against opponents who limit those mistakes and have a few outplays up their sleeve. And so you don't rank up. So there comes a point where you need outplays in order to win consistently. Outplays can take several different forms. Flakes made the power slide cut famous in his videos, but his ability to do it consistently ends up making it a significant outplay that he can use to score goals in games. You could try to get a double flip reset musty flip down, but remember the objective of the game is to put the ball in the opponent's net and also prevent the ball from going in your own. This is where too much of a focus on mechanics becomes detrimental. Players will often fixate on the mechanic they just repped 1,000 times in free play, even if the situation doesn't call for that mechanic, and they end up posing no threat to the opponent and ultimately taking themselves completely out of any reasonable defensive positioning, often giving up a goal in the process. Ranking up in this game is directly linked to your ability to consistently execute whatever the situation needs at the time. If you need to flick the ball to outplay the opponent, can you do it consistently? If you need to double jump and air roll slightly to make a save, can you do it consistently? If you need to hit the ball with power and accuracy in a particular moment to score a goal, can you do it consistently? Your awareness of what's needed at the time and your ability to execute what's needed consistently is the key. You need both working together to improve. So if you aren't able to consistently deliver on several mechanics to outplay or outspeed your opponents, this is what you need to spend time developing in your game. If you're not sure which area of your game needs the most help, I would consider inviting you to our Discord community, which has free advice on replay reviews and people to run scrimmages with. We've gotten several players to Grand Champion just by the community working together, and you can be next if that's your goal. You might be surprised what a second set of eyes can help fix in your game to take you to the next level, so consider joining in the link below. Also, consider subscribing to the channel here, and if you're new to my videos, I have several resources to help with positioning and understanding the game in the Idiot's Guide to Rocket League. Any support you can provide to help the channel is greatly appreciated. So hopefully I've convinced you that mechanics are a critical part of your ranked up journey. If not, maybe you could keep playing slow as fuck and pretend like you're Flakes. I'm sure it's going to work out for you eventually.